Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a rainy afternoon here in Dumaguete City, but I'd like to warmly welcome you all to today's webinar, which is entitled Next Gen AI When Systems Think, Plan, and Act. So we are very happy because we have at this point, we have 90 plus participants joining us today for this it's a very interesting and timely um, webinar. So, by the way, let me greet everyone. Happy Founder Celebration. We are actually celebrating the 124th founding anniversary of Silliman University. And we're truly delighted that you are with us now as we explore and say the evolving landscapes of artificial intelligence. I know everyone is very much interested, and it's like moving from systems that simply respond to systems that actually think, plan, and act, diba? So this is an exciting and critical conversation, especially for educators. I see educators here, um, um, senior high school students, even pre-service teachers, researchers as well, and professionals who are navigating, especially in our age of intelligent technologies. So, to formally open our learning session and introduce our distinguished speaker, may I call on the director of the Global Study Center, Dr. Dave E. Marshall, to do the honors. Sir Dave?
Good morning and good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon. Just woke up very early because of prior engagement. Good afternoon. As Alfie said, Dumaguete is a rainy day. I hope everyone is dry, especially in Manila for some cancellation of classes and so on and so forth. This afternoon, it is my honor to introduce our guest speaker for today's session, Next Gen AI when systems think, plan, and act. At Silliman University, we're one of the university that embraces responsible use of digital technology and artificial intelligence, to be more specific. This afternoon, we are joined by our speaker, a true leader in the field of artificial intelligence. He is the founder and chief AI scientist at Predictive Systems, where he focuses on delivering secure and explainable generative AI. With more than 20 years of experience as technology leader, he also founded Idea Tech, later acquired by Monster Lab. Beyond leading in industry, he served on the PSIA board, co-leads founder on the Institute Manila, and actively helped shape the national IT curriculum. And he is also a member of the CHED technical panel for IT. And you know what this job means? Ensuring that the next generation of learners is prepared for the future technology. Our speaker this afternoon will guide us in discovering AI agents, what they are how they think, plan, and act, and how they are shaping the future of work. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues in the academe, IT students, the general public, our network partners, let us warmly welcome my friend and colleague in the technical panel for IT education at the Commission on Higher Education, Mr. Alan Tan. Sir Alan?
Yes, good afternoon, Doc Dave. Thank you for inviting me. I am very excited to share with you and our participants about agents, agentic AI. And that's what we're gonna talk about in this afternoon. So let me just share my screen. Paalaw na lang po so I can share my slides. Now before we begin, I can see, oh wow, 112 participants. Just curious from the participants, sino po ba ang, sobrang dami, gumagamit ng ChatGPT? You type ChatGPT or whatever tool you are using, whatever AI tool you are using, just to get a sense of how much familiar are you already with the AI tools we have now. So we have, oh, merong Grok, oh. Oh, diba? Ano pa mga ibang tools ang ginagamit? DeepSeek, oh yun. DeepSeek. Si Clint, wow, uses everything. You ask everything to to all the AI and then you summarize, di ba? So you get all their inputs. Oh, you also have developers using DevZero and Vercel, okay? So I'm expecting maybe some of you are technical. I understand this is in the technology forum, so some of our topics will be technical also. I mean, I try to make it light. Hindi ako super technical, but hopefully you'll be able to get a better grasp of where AI is going from, what you are experiencing now. So, yeah, so let's get started. Next gen AI, agentic AI. So let's just start off with, okay. Let's see kung sinong, who knows this guy? Type 1. Don't type his name kasi nandun na yung name niya eh. Like, you know what he's done? Heard of him? Familiar, no? Type 1? No, there's 100 people here. I expect at least 10 people. No? Let's wait a few more minutes, baka seconds, baka may nahihiya. Not familiar? Andrew Nang used to be the founder of Google Brain. He's a very prominent figure in the world of AI. You probably know him as the founder of Coursera. Siguro naman. No, lahat tayo in one way or the other heard of Coursera. So he started Coursera. He started sharing about machine learning like decades ago. And so a lot of the AI researchers look up to him because, a lot of us parang sa kanya natututo, especially online because he gave all his machine learning materials online for free. No? So that's where really, a lot of researchers started to learn about AI, how it's being done. And he said, no, this was last year, just like how electricity transformed everything 100 years ago, no, that's how AI will transform our world. No, so if you look at how electricity is being used now, sabi niya, like in the next few years, that's how AI will be used. Which means it will be everything, right? From the computer, from the power that turns on your computer, from the lights, the aircon, and everything else, there will be AI involved. No? So right now, we see AI maybe in front of the computer, di ba? Kausap mo si ChatGPT. But then, the impact of this kind of technology will go beyond in your computer. No? So, it will be, baka tatawid ka lang ng kalsada, there's AI involved, bibili ka kay manang ng chichirya and there will be AI involved. I don't know, but in practically everything we do, that's where they foresee AI is going. And to supplement that, there's this abundance agenda from Andreessen Horowitz. So Andreessen Horowitz is one of the world's largest venture capital heavily investing in AI. No? So they see AI in three key areas: creativity and productivity, companionship and social, wellness and personal growth. Nagets ba? You understand? If you understand, you type yes. If no, type no. Okay lang. So we'll expound further. Yes, no? Feel free to type in your response para naman medyo interactive tayo. So I have this slide for almost more than 1 year already whenever I do the talk. The first few times I presented this, like lahat nga, huh? What is this about? No, no. Lately, I noticed like when I exactly, di ba? From what I see in the chat, so many already understands when we say creativity and productivity. What is the impact of AI in creativity and productivity? In companionship, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. Wellness and personal growth, maybe, or at least we get some insight already of the possibility. So when we say creativity and productivity, we're talking about AI helping us draw, even if we're not artists. AI helping us compose music, sing, even if sintonado tayo, right? Be able to write programs kahit di tayo marunong mag-program, right? Which was once impossible. So imagine last year when I deliver this kind of talk, like I have to really dig deep and understand and explain so people will understand what I was talking about. I think now it's pretty clear, that you can create art, right? Di ba nauso nga yung mga Ghibli style, Van Gogh style art with the help of AI. Um, you'll be able to write music, compose music. And then there's this topic on companionship and social. You can use ChatGPT as chatmate. Wala kang magawa, makipag-usap ka lang. But then they go beyond that. They're saying it can be an engaging friend, a lover, or sparring partner. So sparring partner, baka medyo matagal pa yan. But the lover is a bit, controversial. Like, do you see yourself having relationship with a human? Oh, sorry. With a machine? Sige nga, I'm curious. Do you think it's possible, like, for humans to have relationship with machine? Type yes or no. Paano iba? Walang opinion? Depends. May yes, may no. Marami pa ring no. We're seeing still a few no, no? So, parang, I guess it's not yet ready, no? So when I dig deep into this also, um, ang na-relate ko was that, like more than a decade ago, maybe more than that, nung bata ka pa kami ni Doc Dave, um, same-sex relationship is taboo. Hindi namin pinag-uusapan yan. Like, I mean, mapag-usapan man, ew, parang ganun. Yun yung generation namin. And probably some of your teachers here also. There was a period na, that's not really accepted by the society. Um, but then came out the movies like Brokeback Mountain. Right, Doc Dave? Naalala ba yan? Yun yung mga first few controversial movies. May lalaki sa lalaki, nagkikissing scene. And that change, I mean, it was a, I guess, turning moment also for many na it's very awkward. But then people started to adjust, and now it's normal. Now, so if you bring back yourself to the time where, same-sex relationship is not accepted, right? You can imagine this is a time when machines and human having relationship is not accepted. But imagine having these young kids growing up with ChatGPT. Pag may problema sa assignment, they ask ChatGPT. Pag may problema sa parents, they ask ChatGPT. Nagalitan ng teacher, whatever. No, they ask ChatGPT. No, it's not impossible. I mean, I don't know. I'm not promoting this, but just to keep an open mind, that's not as possible that, they will eventually grow accustomed and attached to a machine. Kasi hindi sila nagagalit. Mahaba ang pasensya. Hindi ako pagagalitan. Pag makulit ako, pag matigas ulo ko. 'Di ba? So it kind of opens up your mind na, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe not in our generation because we did not grow up with, this kind of tools. But if there are younger people and then the bots start to talk, 'di ba? Then it kind of changes, the way our society works. And that's what they're looking into. And then, if you look into wellness and personal growth, this is probably more realistic now. You see having doctors or AI assisting doctors, AI assisting teachers. I suppose many of you are using, AI making your lesson plan, helping you create your materials or for students for learning. No? So that's where they see AI is actually going. The power of this is that you can actually democratize education and healthcare to a larger base, 'di ba? So hindi lang sa Silliman University maganda education, pwedeng doon sa bundok ng Tumbuktu. Because they have access to AI with the knowledge, with the patience to actually teach everyone. And same with healthcare, right? You do not have to go to these expensive hospitals to get diagnosed properly, right? Eventually, AI will be able to diagnose based on your symptoms, on your conditions, properly, right? So that's where these things are heading into, or at least that's where Andreessen Horowitz sees where it's going. And they are heavily investing into this. And to prove my point, this is a song that I composed an hour ago, or maybe 1.5 hours ago. Pakinggan nyo na lang muna. Nakinig niyo audio? Okay, wait
Hindi.
lang.
Baka hindi na-share.
Let me share again. Paano i-enable yung audio? Ayun, share sound. Okay. Ayan. So this is my composition, guys.
From the data to decisions, agents think and take their stand. Reason, plan, and take their actions, bringing change across the land. They can learn, adapt and choose, solve the problems we once knew. Not just code, but minds that grow, guiding where we need to go. AI agents shaping destiny, building futures for humanity. Here in Silliman by the shore, we explore, we dream, we soar.
Yeah. So, well, mga 15 minutes. 15 minutes, you're able to compose something like that. Kung napansin nyo, there's also, the lyrics are relevant to our topic. There's a mention of Silliman. No? So it can be adjusted to, I guess, any talk na ginagawa ko. I always, prepare something like this. Right? And it's possible now. No? So, kaya ko na mag-compose ng music kahit, well, hindi ako sintonado, but you get the point. Right? Okay. So that is what's, the possibility now. If you're curious how to do that, well, very simple, right? You just prompt AI write a lyrics about this, and then you can iterate with it, improve your prompt until you come up with the lyrics that you are happy with, and then you upload it. In my case, I upload it in Suno. There are many musical AI tools already, but I uploaded Suno, and then you choose the type of song you like. Lalabas na yun dyan. Boom! You already have a music. No? So every time na may event to si Doc Dave can create his own song for every event. No? And that doesn't take a lot of time. Now, this is a sample of a vibe coding tool. It's called Volt. This video has been there for 6 months. It's so much better now. I'm sure some of you are already familiar, but vibe coding tools allows you to, by merely typing booking system, kung napansin nyo kanina, that's what I typed. it can already start writing codes. So yung mga nag-CS dyan, this is familiar already. These are HTML codes, type script, right? And then it can already generate the code for you. And then what actually happens is that, it will try to come up with the requirements based on kung ano yung identify mo na, ayan. And then, mag-error siya. Right? It found, oh, something went wrong. It's not working. There's a compilation error. But then notice on the upper left side, there's a button called attempt fix. So what happens when you click attempt fix? You then send the error back to the AI. The AI will say, sorry, there's an error. I will try to fix that. Right? And then it will give you the updated code. No? So, i-correct niya yung sarili niya and then mag-generate siya ulit. Hopefully, mag-work na. Oops, may error pa rin. You can then, again, try to click on attempt fix. Right? So, eventually, you'll get to a state where it will actually run. Now, take note, this was like 6 months ago. Now, baka nga wala ng error yun. Okay, so, ayan. Immediately, you'll get a very simple screen, book your appointment, be able to put for consultation, enter your date and time. In what? 3 minutes? Diba? Habang ninanarrate ko siya, that's the actual time for you to build the application. No? So I'm sure for those of you who are CS, probably have already explored. I think kanina may nagsabi Vercel, V0. So those are similar tools that you can use for vibe coding. Allows everyone or anyone to be developers. In our case, we use tools like this to give us sort of some inspiration, ideas on how to design systems. Magaling siya mag-design. The entire code, probably not production ready, but nevertheless, it gives you ideas already kung, what the system will look like. So it's very useful for prototyping, for brainstorming. This is a story, again, last year pa, April 2024. Wall Street Journal. No? So the author, nakipaglandian siya kay ChatGPT. They got, and then discussion got steamy. No? Medyo X-rated na yata yung naging conversation. What happens is that after 4 days, ChatGPT stopped responding. Kumbaga, ginost na siya ni ChatGPT. Bakit? I guess probably OpenAI realized like, hey, wait, our bot is responding to this type of conversation. It should not respond anymore. Diba? So if you try it now, I don't think you will get to a certain, discussion na X-rated na. You'll probably not get there. But that doesn't mean that the AI does not understand. It just means the OpenAI is blocking, putting in guardrails, so it doesn't respond. But deep inside, it knows, right? Such that if you remove those guardrails, it understands, everything. Kasi nakukuha niya lahat ng mga information all over, no? So that just shows, how advanced, how complex the AI can be. No, we are just putting certain guardrails, of course, to protect humans also, to protect our society also. In terms of healthcare, we're looking at this one from Gemini, or they be able to accurately diagnose your condition based on, certain photos, certain symptoms. No? So ito, pina-assess pa nila sa mga doktor. In fact, the latest study shows like it's already smarter than a human, such that doctors are already using AI when they trying to treat. So because it has more knowledge already, especially like mga rare and unusual conditions, right? It's be able to predict them more accurately than a real doctor. Now, if we look at the workplace, we're looking at how it is being adapted in the workplace. Basically, what we're saying, what the McKinsey slide is saying is that employees are actually using them. I'm sure it's very similar sa school nyo. Kahit sabihin ni Doc Dave na ayaw nyo, huwag gamitin. Gagamitin at gagamitin nyo pa rin. Diba? I mean, so the same is happening in the workplace. Like employees are more likely to use it even when their leaders do not allow it. So that's why There's really no choice but to allow everyone to actually use it, put certain guidelines, and teach, how to properly use AI. Because there's really just no way of stopping that. So in terms of adoption in the market, we see that about 70% are trying it out, developing solutions. There are several already who has matured. So when we say mature, they're already using it, gaining advantage from it, but a lot are still in the development and emerging stage. Now, which means para sa mga students, yung mga AI projects, there's still a lot of potential and opportunities to be able to make it make it useful, no? Kasi marami pang nagde-develop ng mga AI solutions. The other findings they found with AI is that a lot of the leaders, dito kasi benefits sought, no? So this is what the leaders are expecting, and this is what they actually achieve. So what we're seeing is that on this side, yung mga nandito, these are like leaders are expecting, but not necessarily na-achieve nila. Right? So improve efficiency and productivity. Leaders are expecting a lot of improvements in productivity. They did not reach 55%. They only got 44%. But what's surprising is like uncover new ideas, no? Mababa expectation, and yet mas mataas yung na-achieve. No? So what they're saying is that when we first thought AI, how AI will be useful, it's to save time. Hindi pala. It's to come up with more ideas. And I'm sure you understand that already by now. So this is what this is still in 2024. When we talk of AI terms, yung 2024, that's like decades ago, like 5 years ago. Ganun kabilis yung pace ng development ng AI. And the advantage is a lot of them are actually achieving their ROI. So whatever they invest, they're able to get it back. And there's also concern, especially with regards to hallucinations. I'm sure you know this by now, that AI does not always tell you the correct answer. No? So it's also important for us that we are able to assess, diagnose yung answer, and identify kung tama ba yung pinagsabi or not. So that's basically AI, right? So sabi nga ni Ma'am Flor kanina is Alfie pala. Ma'am Alfie one shot, no? You ask them, it gives you a response. And that's what we are so used to chatting with AI. So what's next after this? No, so we're used to like you have a prompt. What's the capital of France? It's Paris. Okay, you're happy, you get a response. But what if you send it a prompt and it will have access to a tool, to your calendar? And that's already possible now. In fact, ito yung response sa ChatGPT sa akin. What's my schedule for today? It gave me a schedule for today. Today yan, ito yung talk natin, 3 to 4 p.m. Now, you give it an additional tool, right? Then it will have additional powers that it can do. You can check the calendar. But what if you want something more complex, like compare the top 3 competitor in legal AI landscape, right? And with pricing model. What if you wanted to draft an agreement and comply with, local laws? Or you wanted to read email and summarize it for you? Because this kind of task would require multiple steps. Maraming kailangan gawin, right? So for you to be able to compare the 3 competitors, you need to know who they are. You need to know, what their strengths are, what are their pricing strategies, and be able to compare them, right? To know the safe agreement. Of course, you need to know what's a safe agreement and what is allowed in Philippines and create them. So there's so much more involved. It's definitely not something that can be done in one shot. Now, that's where agents come in. That's why a lot of the AI companies, Sam Altman from OpenAI, Demi Sasavis from DeepMind, are into agents. 2025 is the year of the agents, mga agentic AI. And that's where, the research of AI is actually going. So what are agents? Agents are essentially autonomous. I think I've highlighted some of the keyword here, no? Autonomous systems with, goals to complete a certain task, right? Which means it will be able to make its own decision when we say they are autonomous, right? So there has to be certain degree of autonomy. It will be able to make decisions. It can learn. It can adapt to the environment. without constant human oversight. Constant being the word. No? Of course, there has to be human oversight. But then, yung design nila is geared towards something like this. No? So, this is a video from NVIDIA that practically summarizes or introduces, the use case of AI. I'll just play a short clip from the entire video.
Agentic AI is transforming every enterprise, using sophisticated reasoning and iterative planning to solve complex, multi-step problems. AI agents help marketing campaigns go live faster with instant insights, helping optimize supply chain operations, saving hundreds of millions in costs, and reduce software security processes from days to seconds by helping analysts triage vulnerabilities. What makes agentic AI so powerful is its ability to turn data into knowledge and knowledge into action. A digital agent, in this example, can educate individuals with insights from a set of informationally dense research papers. It was built using NVIDIA AI blueprints. These
Ayan. So, that roughly, summarizes where,
are
the
reference
lead
workflows.
companies are. Wait, paano mag next slide? Next slide. Ayan. Of where AI is going, no? Agentic AI, where they'll be able to do marketing, get feedback, improve. Very similar to the what I showed you earlier sa Bolt. There was an error, you send the error back, it fixes the error, and then it tries to continue again. If there's an error, it will continue to. So in that case, there's an AI that is working alongside with the environment. The environment being the IDE. Di ba? Nag-compile error. O, it gives you, there's an error to what you do. Okay, I will try to fix that. Now, similarly, like if it's a marketing campaign, then you write a campaign, you run the promotion, or bad result, di ba? Then the AI can automatically improve them. No? So that's essentially in terms of the use case where um, agents would be useful. And these are some interesting diagrams showing the top use cases. They are changing dramatically. No, last year is about generating ideas. Ngayon daw is companionship. I don't know how true that is. But this is from Harvard Business Review. Organizing life, finding purpose, enhanced learning. No? Which essentially tells us that it's getting more complex and complex. Right? It's not just for answer and question. It's also for investigation, for doing things on our behalf. Similarly, there's a study from KPMG, ito medyo mas bago, saying that companies are already moving, beyond testing, moving beyond experimentation. They are already using agents, and part of it is actually to let the workforce rethink the way they do things. Kasi how we do things will change because of agents. Because there are several tasks na sila na yung gagawa and they can probably do it better than us. So, we'll then be able to we'll have to adjust, right? In the way we do things and maximize these tools so that, we can probably do more. No? So, in fact, like in their implementation, the clients are asking how fast it can be deployed. No, not whether if or when or whether it's useful. It's just, how fast can you actually deploy them. These are some real world use cases where, agents are being used, like Mercedes-Benz in their e-commerce tools, online storefront, use agents for sales. Sutherland, which is one of the biggest BPO company here in Philippines, no? They're using agents already for client facing. So actually, that's how our BPO is protecting the industry. Kasi this is one big discussion like paano na yung mga nasa call center, when there's AI who can actually do all this kind of work, right? So the only way is for them to actually adapt and maximize these tools so that they still remain relevant. No? They cannot do the way they do the thing 5 years ago and hope they will survive, because they will not. No? There will be new companies, more efficient, smarter, better than how they do things. That's why they have to adapt and actually, take advantage of this. No? So, yan, Discover Financial to synthesize information, financial information, let the AI do it. Fiserv, I think they have office also here, development team. No? So this is, I think this is for their security using AI, as mentioned by NVIDIA earlier. If you're interested, there's a lot more of use cases there. Now, this is a study of Upwork and OpenAI last February. Ang tanong, can LLM actually earn $1 million from freelancing? Now, so what they did is they actually collected all work or all small tasks in Upwork and let the AI do the actual coding. Right? So if it's able to do it, it earned money. If it's not able to do it, then zero. The results is, this was February, right? It's able to make ito, no, GPT-o1 sa Claude Sonnet. It's able, so si Claude pa rin ang pinakamagaling mag-code. From out of $1 million, they were able to accomplish $400,000. So 40% of what's done can be actually be automated primarily through the computer. That's what this tool is saying. And now, there's an open source like OpenSWE. If you are curious, baka kailangan nyo ng thesis nyo or whatever, AI that can code, there are open source tools that will allow you to, help develop this faster. Because these agents are agents that can plan, execute, it can reflect, meaning it can review what it's done and correct it and improve it if necessary. It can talk to the human to get feedback. And then it can also push the code to repo. So essentially, how do you actually build this kind of agents? So yun yung maging coverage natin. For the rest of the session, like, okay, we know where agent is going, why it's important. Now, how can you actually build one? So an agent, for first and foremost, will have to access to tools. So yung AI, ChatGPT, right? It has to have access to some of the tools. This includes searching the web, searching the weather. Ang maganda example ng searching the web, if you are familiar, if you ask ChatGPT like very recent news, like who won the tennis between Alex Ayala and sino may kalaban niya from Denmark, right? In the old days, it will not be able to respond. Now, it's able to respond primarily because it has access to a web search. In its stock knowledge, hindi niya alam yung latest news. The only way that it will know is to search the web, get those information, and give the reply to you. So by enabling it, by giving it tool, you enable it to respond to, newer information. Similarly, you can give it access to weather. Right? Kasi pag di mo binigyan ng tool yan na weather, mag-chamba-chamba yan ng weather. Sabihin niya maaraw ngayong araw kahit maulan. Or wala pasok bukas kahit maaraw. Baka yun ang gusto nyo. No? Yun. So first and foremost, you need to give it access to tools so that it will be able to adapt to their environment. Right? Also gives them a certain degree of autonomy. Second, you need to give it context. You need to give it access to documents, to information na kailangan niya. And the design of AI now is that it's actually learning. Right? When you have multiple agents, yung output ng isa becomes input of the other. That's how they learn. So you can have an agent that does research. You have an agent that summarizes everything. Before it summarizes, it asks the researcher, ano yung result ng research mo? I'll put it here, and then that's what I'll summarize. So that's part of the design of agents. It's able to make decisions. So the agent can ask and decide whether, okay, should I stop? Right? Am I happy with my result? Or should I keep on doing research? Maybe it's not enough. The answer is not available. Let me do, a bit more research. So this is a sample of an agentic workflow, right? The user asks a prompt like, okay, generate a chart of average temperature in Alaska over the past decades. So what it should do, if you are designing, developing an agent system, what you do, you have a researcher muna. The researcher will do a research, right? You send the result here. This one will decide na, okay, enough na ba ang research mo? Maybe not. Maybe may kailangan ka pang gawin. Babalik siya dito. Pwede siya mag-call tool call. right? Hanggang happy siya. Pag happy na siya, o sige, this is the right data that we need, you can then send it to a chart generator, which is totally different function, di ba? Ang trabaho ng chart generator is to generate nice charts. You give it the data, it will generate the chart. Oh, is this the chart I need? Then you return back to the user. No? So there is a router that makes a decision on what to do, who to call, to answer certain inquiries. Yeah, so that's the power of agents. This is also backed by research. For example, the React pattern is a popular design pattern on LLM saying na if you actually give it a reason and then you activate it and then you observe, you get a better response. Right? So try mo, did it work? No? Yes. Kung nag-work, okay. Kung di nag-work, let it reason again. No? Yan, may research dyan showing that the React pattern actually helps improve the performance of your models. No? So agentic system would be something like this. It will have access to your email, to your database, to your calendar, to your environment. It will have tools to retrieve information, to execute certain things, and then it's being orchestrated by your large language model. Now, if you look at the entire design paradigm of agents, you can start with the simplest one. A simple chatbot, di ba? Question, response. The next would be a sequential flow. You ask a question, nag-search siya, nag-validate, balik siya doon, and then pagtapos na, i-summarize, just like what we showed earlier. Or it can be something more complex that it will have access to different tools, and then it just decides which tool to call, decides when to give back the answer autonomously. Now, there's nothing wrong with one or the other because it depends on what's your goal, what you need to accomplish. 'Di ba? Kasi kung simple facts lang, right? What is the capital of France? You do not need something as complex as this. This can already work, a simple chatbot, because it knows the answer. If it's a sequential flow, maybe this is enough. But if you are asking about come up with something creative, right? Maybe programming that is not commonly being programmed and you want it to explore, you want it to be able to make autonomous decision and explore different combinations and give you the right answer in the end. No? So dito papasok. So there are different ways to actually design, your agents. Ayan, dito tayo. Notebook LM. We have a few minutes left. Sige nga, sino nang notebook LM? Familiar? Yes, no? Type yes if you are familiar. Talaga ba? Oh my God. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Ano ba yung naka-share ko na screen? Um, wala man lang isang yes? Pag nag-switch ako, nakikita nyo ba? Visible? Yung tab?
Visible. Yeah, visible.
Okay. So, Notebook LM is a tool by Google. It allows you to summarize documents and create a podcast. Ito po ay aking mga subject sa AIM. Nino-notebook LM ko siya kasi meron kami mga case study na kailangan pag-aralan. And what we do is we actually have to, read through 20 pages of notebook, of documents, and then you present. No? So instead of that, you can upload your document. Ito yung document. And then it can create a podcast for you. No? So, tapos papakinggan mo na lang siya. It will be like it can also create a mind map. It can also create study guides, tools like that, timelines for you. This is a classic example of an agentic system. No? But very useful for dense material. Tapos gusto nyong mas mabilis intindihin, you can ask it to create an audio overview. Balikan natin kasi nag-generate pa siya ng kanyang audio overview. But basically, you, yeah, wala akong prepare. I thought. Kop muna siya. Okay. Sige. Ano ba yung kinilig ko kanina? Domino's ba? Ito, di ba? Ayan. So hopefully you be able to hear
Welcome
this.
to the deep dive. Today we're looking at Domino's Pizza, a company pretty much everyone knows.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You send in some great sources, and we've really been digging into this one case study, Tech with a Side of Pizza, how Domino's rose to the top. And while where Domino's is now is kind of amazing.
It really is. I mean, think about it. By 2021, they were selling something like 3 million pizzas
Mhm.
every single day
3 million. Wow.
across what, 17,200 stores
Mhm.
in 90 countries? Just the scale is incredible.
Absolutely. But as we're going to find out, it wasn't always smooth sailing.
Not at all.
So this deep dive, really, it's about figuring out that turnaround. How did Domino's climb back from, that real low point around 2008? Stock price was below $3.
Yeah, rock bottom.
All right, you get the idea? No, you upload a long document, you create a podcast. There's two, person talking. Hopefully, less boring because you're just now listening to their podcast. That's a classic example of an agentic system. No? So, ang kinreate kong material is an exercise how to create something like Notebook LM if we will build an agent system. Right? So you have a set of documents, you want it to be able to create an audio podcast. Because it is something that, you cannot just let ChatGPT one shot, no? It has to be a sequence of process in order to generate something as good as that. So naturally, if sabihin natin, I suppose marami man mga engineering dito, CS, design a similar system that will do exactly just that. Of course, the first thing you want to do is to be able to read. Di ba? Read the document. You upload the PDF, you must be able to read the document. Next is that, okay, I read the document, then I have to have to analyze the document, di ba? So maybe you prompt your AI, okay, this is what I read. Give me a summary or ano yung mga topics sa kinover, sino-sino, what are important points that you want to, raise. And then you put a script writer. Kasi alam mo na what it's talking about, then you let it write a script. Just like how, the girl and the guy AI earlier was talking, right? What would make it more interesting, add certain emotion, add certain joke, maybe just to make it light or make it dense, whatever, right? As long as you have a script, you write the script, then you review the script, tama ba yung mga information? From there, you have two choice. Either I am not happy with the script, right? It's boring. You send it back to the script writer or you send it back to the analysis. Ay, di, mali ang ginawa mo. No, it can go like that. And then once you are done and happy with the script, you can then send that to the voice actor and then they will start rendering the audio. You get the result. No? So this is a sample of an agentic system because you have different agents doing different things. The reviewer can actually make a decision whether they will rewrite it if they're happy with it or proceed to the next stage. No? So this would writing something that this would of course require you to have knowledge on proper integration with LLM, calling the API calls. No, there are agent platforms already. Yung tinuturo namin is yung A2A ng Google, LangGraph. There's also agentic platform that helps you, write code like this. Or you can design it to be more autonomous. There's a supervisor, and then sabihin mo lang kay supervisor, you have access to a researcher, you have access to a scriptwriter, you have a voice actor, you have the audience. Write a podcast. What the supervisor will do is that it can start planning, right? Because if you go back to the previous script, now this one, we planned it. We put in the steps. This is the sequence of steps that you want to do. Or you let the supervisor plan. Like, okay, I want to write a podcast. What should I do? Right? And then you will have access to these tools. So once na happy na siya, the supervisor can probably go back to the user and sabihin niya, okay, this is what I plan to do. Yan ba? Tama ba? Ito ba yung gusto mo pagawa? Yes. Then it will start calling the researcher. Okay, let's do a research. Do a research on this stuff. It keeps the result, give it back to the supervisor. This is what I found out from my research. What do you want to do next? The supervisor says, no, you're lazy. Do some more research. It's not accurate or it's not complete. Include this. Then it will ask the researcher again, right? Until the supervisor is happy, and then it can, yeah, ask the scriptwriter, prepare the script. If it's happy, it can probably go to the audience and say, oh, ito yung script ko. Ano, natuwa ka ba? Right? The audience will say, oh, yes, yes, yes. Or no, 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 no. Let's remove this or whatever. Right? And then the supervisor now is planning, right? Making decisions until it achieves a goal. No? So that's essentially what agents are. That's how they are being designed. And that's, if you actually have access to the paid account like yung deep research ng ChatGPT, ng Gemini, that's how they are designed. They are actually they are actually agentic tools with multiple steps. That's why it takes a long time. I don't know if you notice, sometimes meron siyang research, tapos writing, summarizing, reviewing, whatever, until it comes up with your desired result. No, so that's essentially how agents work. And the reason why I picked this topic to share with you is I think, in the next few months, kasi ganun kabilis yung AI, there's a lot of work that are agentic in nature, either in the enterprise, in the consumer space, in education. We're doing agents also for education, more for reviewing yung mga students, and it's really agentic by nature. And if you look at where these things are going, of course, the AI agents, there will be job disruption. It's a matter of us adapting and how, we make ourselves relevant in the times of AI. I mean, napaka-plastic naman sabihin na, there will be none. Like, your job is safe. Wala nga akong project eh. Ganon. So, but then, the reality is, there will be. We just have to prepare and we have to learn to adapt. We have experienced the same disruption in the last 50 decades. This is just going to be, the same. There are reasoning models, explainable AI, where we are working on, and then AGI. Pero hindi naman natin kasi cover yan in this topic. But this is just where I think, AI is heading towards too. Oh, and if you're interested, sorry Doc Dave, promote ko lang. We're doing training also on AI engineering for those of you who wants. This is primarily designed actually for professionals already who are working developers and wanted to shift and do more AI. We teach this, no? So, yan. And you can follow me on my LinkedIn or in my YouTube channel. Although wala na ako masyadong post for almost 3 months na. But hopefully you'll be able to post more content on AI. Yeah, that ends my presentation. Inom lang ako ng tubig. And be happy to take on questions.
Thank you so much, Sir Alan. So that was that was a full set of information we got there about agentic AI, especially. Do you have questions from our audience? Well, they are still maybe trying to formulate their questions. Let me just ask maybe my question while listening to Sir Alan earlier. Okay, sir.
Okay. So, yun na. May question na tayo.
So may
Miss
question na
Alfie.
pala. Sir, how about
AI as your personal
as your
assistant?
personal assistant in any career field, in any field
Oh,
of
is it
career? Is
possible?
it
Do we have it?
possible or do we have it na?
Okay. So, I'll share you a story. Yung Notebook LM, the product lead of Notebook LM of Google is actually a Filipina. Si, kalimutan ko tuloy na yan. But she's actually a Filipina. And nag-resign na sa Google. She started her own company. The product is called Hux. Huxe. You can download it. It's kind of similar to Notebook LM, but what it does, it reads your calendar, your email, and it will summarize everything, like what's your schedule for today, what's in your email, what you need to respond to. So in a form, like if you need a personal assistant, someone that checks and reminds you of what you need to do, there's something like that na. Having said that, nag-hire pa rin ako ng admin assistant. So, I think it will get there if that's the question. Is it? But not yet. Yun. Yeah. You have to check yung condition ng mga tools, whether they on their copyright. So different tools will have different copyright. So in general, like if you're talking of Microsoft, Adobe, they have a general clause that if you use their paid version, the enterprise version, they will cover you from any copyright issues. So if someone sued you because you had a copyright because it was AI generated from a tool of Microsoft, Microsoft will cover for you. Kumbaga, kami bahala dyan. Whatever we produce will be, will be legally liable on that. On the free version, like the one I'm using, I do not know. No? So you have to be aware also, like, where exactly, yung tanong ni Sir Marvin, kasi for marketing, di ba? And then you're using it for a company. If it's a big company, then you have to be more careful because there are legal implications on that. So you have to check the clause. But the general term for these big companies, they will protect you. Whether it will hold true or not, I do not know. Pero you can check, there are articles na sinabi nilang, we'll cover any legal issues you encounter with our tool.
Okay, any more questions?
What practical advice can you give students and young professionals how to maximize AI? Without overly dependent. Well, so for one, you have to be better than yourself without the AI. That's for sure. Kasi kung ang mindset mo mapadali lang yung ginagawa mo, right? You will not really grow. Kasi ibig sabihin parang ito na yung kailangan kong gawin. And then that's it. So in order for you to not be overly, dependent, is you have to be able to do more. No? So like in my case, kumbaga, kung walang AI, it takes me one whole day to program or finish a module. Now it's 1 or 2 hours. The rest of the 3 hours, the rest of the 6 hours, you make use of it also. You either build more programs, you improve the design, you do something else that will improve the output of what you're doing. I think one of the issue I'm facing is that if you do not have the fundamental knowledge and you become reliant immediately on AI, you will not be able to criticize, you will not be able to review, and will not be able to get something useful out of it. Maybe you'll get a passing grade, but you will not learn anything. No, so in my case, lumaki ako na walang AI, so I don't know how to write programs. So it produced programs and gave me programs. I know whether it's right or wrong. No, so there is a danger if you do not have the fundamental knowledge and you start using them, you'll not be able to to review whether it's right or wrong. Parang calculator, 'di ba? Before we allow students to use calculator, you teach them proper math muna by hand. So ganun din, if it's a programming, you need to have that logic, that proper formulation of solution, critical thinking before you start using AI. Otherwise, hindi ma-develop yung fundamental knowledge na yun.
Okay. Sir, can I have like the final question? It's just really
Sure.
an opinion. So looking ahead, especially you were talking of agentic AI earlier. Um, how soon do you see the movement, especially because we see it now first as parang experimental pa, because not everyone is very much aware of agentic AI. But how soon is it from experimental to mainstream, especially in the use of everyday life, like for schedules or somewhat like that? Or could it be similar, like 2 years of how generative AI exploded in 2023? Or would it be, you mentioned earlier, months lang, no? You were also saying that. So how soon will it actually be more of the mainstream,
So depends.
especially?
Depends. If you're in the US, they're using it already. Like in the use case I've shown you, these are already agents. If you tried yung deep research ni ChatGPT or Gemini, that's agents actually behind the scenes. So there's already use case on it. In our products, we're using agentic solution already. So I think it's there already. The adoption may take some time. Tingin ko matagal na 1 year. Eventually, everything will parang magiging norm na yun. Just like ChatGPT, di ba? 2 years ba? 2 years. So, maybe. Ganun.
All right, so I think we have actually, there are still maybe questions from the audience, but we're really running out of time, unfortunately. No, so we might just want to place it in our chat box so that we could forward it to Sir Alan. No, so with that said, thank you very much,
Add me on
sir.
LinkedIn. If you have any questions, be
Yes.
happy to answer.
So you can
Mm.
visit Sir Alan's LinkedIn so that
Ayan.
he could actually also, or if you have questions here, we could also send it to him. Okay, so before we
Ayan. Send ko yung link.
end,
Ina-accept ko naman
nandyan yung
lahat.
link talaga, oh. Very open si Sir sa questions. Okay, so let me just read the citation for our certificate. Dr. Mariano Silao, Global Studies Center, Silliman University, Building Competence, Character, and Faith, awards the certificate of recognition to Alan Tan for his invaluable contribution as a speaker for the lecture on Next-Gen AI, When Systems Think, Plan, and Act, hosted by Dr. Mariano Silao, Global Studies Center, held on August 26, 2025 at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. given this 26th day of August 2025 online via Zoom. Signed, Dave E. Marshall, PhD, Director, Dr. Mariana Lau, Global Studies Center, Silliman University. So here's our
Thank
virtual
you. Thank you.
certificate, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on.
At this juncture, we kindly invite you to evaluate today's session. Your valuable feedback will help us enhance our programs and services. Additionally, the evaluation will assist us in issuing your certificate of attendance, which will be sent within 2 weeks. Please ensure that you provide the correct email address. You can access the evaluation form by scanning the QR code or by clicking the link in the chat box. Thank you in advance for your time and input.
At this time, we would like to invite everyone to join us for a photo opportunity to capture this special moment. If your connectivity allows, kindly switch on your video. Please hold your smile as we take screenshots based on the number of frames displayed on the screen. Get ready, everyone.
Okay, so since we have numerous participants, we might as well um, ask everyone to, okay, turn on their cameras. And we have 5. Yes. Okay, so will this be, can we have Sir Russell to take the picture for us? Sir Russell? Okay, so we'll have to keep smiling for 5 or say a few seconds. so that everything will be captured. So countdown, 3, 2, 1, smile. Next frame, smile. Keep smiling, third frame, smile. All right, so we're done with all of our uh, frames here. So thank you very much. Okay, so we have just additional information, especially um, if you'd want to learn more about the services of the Global Study Center. Can we have the slide, please? Okay, so don't hesitate to reach us at ici@su.edu.ph, especially for our free computer trainings. And then we also have, you could also reach us um, via the local number 418 so that we could actually also answer your questions. And then we also have this one, especially for those who would want to make use of the ICI laboratory because it's actually an open laboratory. And we also have other offerings for students, especially who would need the space to do the research or their digital experiments. So you could also visit us. It's the same email, ici@su.edu.ph, and then you could also call us or reach us with a local number 418. I think the rest of the other information could be accessed in our Facebook page that is actually placed in the chat box. So with that said, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully for those who are here, especially from neighboring towns of Dumaguete City, you could also join us in celebrating our Founders Week celebration. So good afternoon and God bless everyone.